Hey guys, welcome to Black Door. Tonight, I want to share something truly terrifying. This isn't just a story, it's an experience. A night shift that changed my life forever. If you've ever worked alone at night, you know how unsettling it can be. But trust me, nothing prepares you for what I went through. Stay with me till the end. Because after this, you might never want to work the night shift again. It happened in Toronto, in the winter of 2019. I was working as a night security guard at Crestwood Office Tower, a 30-story building that mostly emptied out after 10 p.m. My shift ran from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., and honestly, it was usually boring. Just checking cameras, walking empty hallways, and making sure no one sneaked in. That night, it was freezing outside. Snow piled up on the streets, and inside the building, everything was dead silent, except for the low hum of the ventilation system. At 1:45 a.m., I grabbed my flashlight and stepped out for my routine patrol. Everything was normal. First floor, clear. Second floor, clear. Then, as I reached the 19th floor, something felt off. The second the elevator doors slid open, I felt it. The air was heavy, cold. The hallway stretched in front of me, dimly lit by flickering overhead lights, and then, I heard footsteps, soft, slow, coming from the far end of the corridor. Now, here's the thing, the 19th floor was supposed to be vacant. I stood still, holding my breath, my ears straining. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe it was the building settling. Then, in the reflection of a large office window, I saw movement, a dark shadow, standing at the end of the hallway. I spun around, but no one was there. My stomach clenched. My hands were ice cold. I wanted to leave. Every instinct told me to go back to the elevator. But my job was to check, to make sure everything was okay, so I forced my legs to move. Step by step, I walked toward the last office at the end of the hall. Room 1923. The door was slightly open, and then, a whisper, right behind me, "You shouldn't be here." I spun around so fast I nearly dropped my flashlight. My chest was heaving. But the hallway behind me was empty. I swallowed hard, trying to convince myself I was just tired. Just hearing things. But then I noticed something even more disturbing. The air had turned ice cold. I could see my breath in front of me. And that didn't make sense. This was an indoor office building. The heating should have been running. Then, the door to room 1923 creaked open. It felt like an invitation. Or a warning. I stepped inside. The room was freezing. Dust covered the floor, the furniture. It smelled like old wood and something rotten. The kind of smell that makes your stomach turn. And then, the door slammed shut. I ran to yank it open, but it wouldn't budge. My hands were shaking now, and that's when I heard it, a rustling noise, from the corner of the room. My flashlight flickered as I turned, and then, I saw it, a figure, crouched in the shadows. Its long black hair covered its face. Its thin, pale hands twitched against the floor. And the worst part, it was looking right at me. I couldn't breathe. My legs wouldn't move. Then, it smiled, a wide, unnatural grin stretching too far across its face, and in that second, the room filled with whispers. Soft, overlapping voices, all saying the same thing. "You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here." Something snapped inside me. I turned and slammed myself against the door. Suddenly, it flung open. I stumbled out, gasping, my heart racing. I ran to the elevator, slamming the button over and over. The whispers were still echoing in my ears. The doors opened. I jumped inside, hit the ground floor button, and squeezed my eyes shut. When I finally looked up, she was standing right outside the elevator, staring, smiling. As the doors slid shut, I don't remember the rest of my shift. All I know is when the morning guard came in at 7 a.m., I quit on the spot, but before I left, I asked my manager something, what the hell is on the 19th floor? His expression changed immediately. He looked tired. You saw her, didn't you? He said quietly. I just nodded. He sighed. And then he told me the truth. Years ago, a woman named Evelyn worked late on the 19th floor. One night, she was the only person there. At exactly 2 a.m., she left room 1923 and never made it to the elevator. Her body was found in the elevator shaft the next morning. No one knows if she fell or if something pushed her. After that, strange things started happening. Security guards quit. Employees refused to work past midnight. And eventually, the company shut down the entire floor. Now, the rule is simple. No one goes to the 19th floor after 1 a.m. And if you ever do, don't enter room 1923, because Evelyn is still there, waiting. If you made it this far, hit that like button, subscribe to Black Door, and tell me, have you ever experienced something creepy during a night shift? Let me know in the comments. And remember, if you hear whispers when you're alone, don't turn around. Sweet dreams.